Hey guys, I'm sorry I'm not there with you today, but I wanted to do my presentation for you with a little video to talk about the things that I have learned this term and just the ways that I've become better at visual communications. So I hope you enjoy, and I hope you guys all have an awesome summer. So here goes. So the first thing I learned, I would say, is just how amazing all the Adobe products were. I feel like every day it was almost a commercial for Adobe, from Behance and the way you can show your work to Slate, the new app they just came out with. I was just amazed by the integration of the products, and I work a lot every day with people who use those products, but I didn't really understand how they work together or how to even speak the language. So now when I'm communicating with designers or anyone else, I know what to say and I know a little bit about how to use them, which is fantastic. The second thing I learned is that you should not be afraid to take photographs. I remember when I was doing my red video, I took forever because I was afraid of that people would laugh at me, of how I was crouching on the ground to get the right angle. And I quickly realized that it really doesn't matter. No one is paying attention to you. And when you're making something that is a work of art or trying to be a work of art one day, you really just have to be bold. And that was a big lesson for me. So the next section of things I would share is the first thing I learned is, and I continue to learn this lesson, is that there are a million ways to do something. One way I really learned it recently is I got the new iPhone and I was so excited because I think slow motion is one of the coolest things. And so I was so excited to use it in my video. I meticulously recorded all these slow motion videos, and when I loaded them into Premiere, the slow motion went away. And so I was like, oh no, this was the whole point. And so I did a little Googling, which is the other thing, is that there's a YouTube video for anything you want to do, and figured out how to do slow motion for my water video, which was really cool for me and just a major turning point. And the other thing I would say is I really noticed when I was making my video about flow that the things you care about come through best. And when you're really wanting to do a project, you really have to dive in and find a way to make it connect with your passion. And that's still probably one of my very favorite videos is the one of Flo, and she's just the sweetest dog, and I loved getting to represent that even in my meager way. So the last major thing I would say I learned in regards to the video making process has to do with one of the videos I made when I was actually traveling to Houston, and I was freaking out because I'd been using the really nice DSLR camera, and which had made some good pictures, some not so good pictures, but I was just thinking, how am I going to make a good video when I'm going to be traveling? And that was when I really learned what Dr. Helmovic has been talking about all term, that sometimes the very best equipment is the one that you have with you. And the hardest part is coming up with a creative concept. So when I shared the story about my fear of flying, it was really best told with the iPhone I had. And that was when my eyes were really opened to what you can do if you're just paying attention and you're creative and you see things a little bit differently and you look for that punctum, or I think that's the right word. But anyway, so that project really proved to me, and I actually switched to using my iPhone a lot more for the remainder of my videos, that the best tool is the one you have. So the last thing, and I think it's probably the biggest thing that I really appreciated about this class, is the chance to be creative in your space and to not be afraid to fail and to try things. I really enjoyed looking at images and haikus and thinking about something that I've struggled with since finding out, and that was celiac disease. And this process was just fascinating to me to think about it in this context and to wrestle with it and to write about it and to photograph it. And it was so fun, and also it seemed to almost be educational in a way. And So I really appreciated the chance to both experiment with technology, to try to communicate in a different way, and to really wrestle with something that was a little bit tough for me. And that usually doesn't happen in most classes. So that was the biggest takeaway. And so I just want to thank everybody for the wonderful experience, and I hope you all enjoy the rest of your week. Thank you.